3-month hiatus, Ask the Knight has returned. There's a lot of reasons why this show has been a little bit quiet, for lack of a better reason, or expression, whichever your preference. Mainly due to the fact that not enough people are sending in questions. Kryptonite Cow sends in questions, but he sends in a lot of too long, didn't read questions. It's nothing personal against you, dude, but you really need to simplify it just a tad bit. And there's the usual stuff with Duran sending in his on very rare occasions. But on this occasion, we have another Firebird special. And we're going to get right to that. Question 1. Sally as speed, Techno as flight, and Tangle as power. Would you support that, or what are your thoughts? I have no qualms with that. Techno, the canary being the flight template, makes perfect sense. Plus she's the hands-on machinist, even though Sally's an equally good mechanic and engineer. Tangle, see, I don't really know enough about Tangle other than she's a little bit of a fangirl in the IDW Sonic, and for some people that thought that she was going to be Sally reincarnated, I think we can put that one to bed, because Sally's not a fangirl. let's just be clear on something. Sally goes gooey-eyed when she sees Sonic, but she's more like keep it in check. So I don't know what capacity Tangle will be in with the comics going forward, but it'll be an interesting way to see her character is fleshed out and we get to see how she develops. But Sally Acorn as speed and as the leader makes total sense. And as I've mentioned in the Sunday Night live streams, the door is not closed on the Freedom Fighters, because Ian Flynn is genuinely a fan of that group, which includes Sally, Bunny, Rotor, Antoine, and various others. So 2019, we'll see. I do believe Sally and company will return, because now this is coming from a biased perspective on my behalf, but it's one of those things. Here is the problem, here is the logical perspective. You bring this group of characters back in, it will please the pre-existing fans from the Archie series, and the people that are coming into the IDW like, oh, I've never heard of these characters before, I'd like to see them done. And 9 times out of 10, the most, the logical Sonic fans will look at, logical new ones will look at Sally and think, this girl's kind of cool, let's get behind her. So that's my thoughts on that, and particularly with your thoughts with regards to the Sonic Heroes-esque team template for Team Acorn, or Team Royalty, Team Princess, whichever your preference. Thumbs up from me. Question 2: Would you like to see a Sonic Jurassic Park or Sonic Jurassic World crossover? You know I'd be all over that. I know there's one YouTuber that really loves to do these intriguing Sonic fan movies. He was getting this fan movie of Sonic in Jurassic Park. I really would have loved. It might be Bayona Productions, I think. Comment section below just to correct me on it. But it would have been intriguing just to see this idea of Sonic trying to outrun a Velociraptor, which wouldn't have been that much of a feat considering Sonic can run 761 miles per hour. And here's the thing with the Jurassic Park lore. In the first movie, it's established that they could run cheetah speed, 50 to 60 miles per hour if they ever got out in the open. Yet in Jurassic World, they reckon it's about 40 to maybe 50. So it's like, okay, did they forget details? Did they retcon it? Or was that just a little bit of laziness on the writing there? I mean, I don't know. To see the team take on a T-Rex, or a number of different possibilities of which you could actually see this going through, or if they even did like a thing whereby you have members of Sonic's team as representatives of iconic characters in Jurassic Park. So you have Sonic representing Dr. Malcolm, Sally representing Ellie Sattler, or have, Sonic representing Owen, and Sally is representing Claire. Now, I could see that working. Tails, I could see representing Gray as this, starry-eyed kid who just loves dinosaurs. Again, a number of infinite... Not that character, just because he's weak. There are a number of scenarios, stories, setups, and outcomes that you could do with just working with that. I mean, I'd love to see a crossover with Knight Rider and Jurassic Park, only because, how would Kit take on a T-Rex, or how would Michael and company deal with a Velociraptor? And if there was a turbo boost over the T-Rex, then the line jumping the Rex would have some validity at last. So yeah, long question, long answer to a very short question. I would love to see that done. I'd probably like to see, because obviously it'd have to be CG and what have you. I'd love to see the dinosaurs rendered via Frontier game style, which they've got for Jurassic World Evolution, which I have pre-ordered. I'm looking forward to that for July 3 in this country. But with regards to how you would render Sonic and Company, you have to go 06. And this is one of the few things I actually give that particular game props for, is because art style wise, it's probably one of the best ones of Sonic to date. From the simple perspective, proportions seem to make a little bit more sense. Now, I understand that we're arguing the merits of a cartoony Hedgehog, but if you're going to have the realism and scientific accuracies as close as possible for a Jurassic Park dinosaur, then in turn you have to apply those kind of physics with Sonic, Sally, Tails, and various others. So that's my stance on that. I mean, as to what you would call the game, Sonic in Jurassic Park, or I don't know, Jurassic World featuring Sonic, just even an original title where it features neither Jurassic or Sonic in the title, kind of like what they did for The Dark Knight in 2008, where it's the first Batman movie not to have Batman in the title. So who knows? We'll see. But I do actually like that question. More of those, please. Question 3. Who do you think could voice Tangle the lemur, or who do you think is the ideal choice? If we're talking fan voice artists, I would say Shadow for one, because she's pretty much a chameleon when it comes to these things. Maybe SPD64, very talented voice actress as well. Look her up on YT. Some of the stuff she comes up with, and she's even a very good artist as well. But if we're talking professionnel, that is actually a very good question. Who would be ideal to voice Danielle Pineda, who voices Zia Rodriguez in Jurassic World, who plays Zia in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, mainly because I like the girl's moxie. She's a tomboy, she's badass, and the girl oozes charisma. So that's who I would get. Bonus question: which Power Rangers actor do you think could voice Sonic? Also, to make it easier, who would voice Sonic in the Sonic franchise? If it were up to you. Alright, what Power Rangers reboot actor do you think could voice in a Sonic game? Okay. Again, you hear me with the good questions. I don't think you could get any of the current Power Rangers reboot cast to voice Sonic specifically, although Dacre Montgomery could do it if he was voicing a more mature Sonic, so anything like, 22 years young to 25, because he's got that kind of range. I don't think he's the guy. I think with regards to Sonic, you need to find that happy medium between Jaleel White and Roger Craig Smith, because they're the go-tos. I could definitely see Becky G maybe voicing Rouge or Styx, just to do something different, because the two characters have a lot of moxie, and so does Becky G. So that kind of helps. And we have even a second bonus question. You hit me up with these today, dude. What are your thoughts on IDW Sonic and Sonic Adventure and Sonic Mania Adventures so far? I love them. I think Ian Flynn is doing a very good job with regards to what he's doing with the fresh comic, because it's not a reboot, folks. Well, it is and it isn't. It's not really acknowledging Archie's, but the writing style and the mannerisms that Sonic has in that. It's definitely Archie's style. Just without all the no nonsense, just without all the nonsense drama. Because the only reason Archie's disappeared was because of you-know-who. He who shall not be named. He who thought it was a cute idea back in the day to kill Sally off. Dude, there are not enough reasons in the world to list what such a faux pas that was. But what would I know? I just know logic. But yeah, I think IDW Sonic is great. Sonic Mania Adventures is going well so far, even though Knuckles is displaying tendencies of being the token idiot once again. Okay, folks, I have said this till I've been blue in the face over like the last 3 to 4 years. There's a fine line between naivete and moron. Naivete is whereby you can have somebody who's very intelligent, whether it be in literature, science, in technology, if you're a doctorate of bioengineering, or if you're an engineer, say like Tony Stark. You can have like all that intelligence in the world, but then when it comes to the social aspect where you're not very savvy, I think that's what they pick up on. Because Knuckles has spent the majority of his life all alone on the floating island, with no interaction, he doesn't know social skills. He doesn't know certain things whereby how to spot something that's shady and something that's not shady. So I think the Sega in particular really need to stop it with this narrative that Knuckles is stupid. He's not stupid at all, he's just very naive. Again, there's a very fine line. Naive, moron. Knuckles, that guy. But yeah, love it. And that's all I've got to say about that. This has been the end of another episode of Ask the Knight. I hope you still know this shtick by now. Leave a question in the comment section below with the hashtag AskTheKnight. Leave it on dynamicnight.com. Or even leave it up on my Twitter page. I would say Facebook, but I've long walked out the door, folks. I'm not going to go into reasons why, because I've said so many reasons before of why I've done that, so there is some stuff that's just best left alone. But until then, folks, ask again, and nice to be back.